once again, welcome back to Chats with Jack. I am Jack Talcott. And greetings, blessings, salutations, and love. Once again, welcome back to Chats with Jack. I am Jack Talcott, and if I remember right, it is Talcott Tuesday. I keep forgetting the day of the week, but brothers and sisters, I'm so excited to get started today. I'm grateful to all of you. Those of you who are here with me, I started early. I scheduled at a different time. I'm just flowing with my feelings. So for those of you who are drawn or able to be here with the live stream experience, thank you sincerely. I do appreciate you. I see so many familiar names of people I truly appreciate so often. And I am grateful to all of you, whether it's live or later, however you find your way to me, even if it's some crazy live stream. But may your blessings and joy become more abundant with you, truly. That really is the way to feel blessed, to feel grateful, to just be at peace with all that is, because I am so inspired today, man. I'm so excited to get started. These inspirations, the ideas, hopefully I did the right one. Yes, in the background. Here, for the critics again, it's an AI image of Jack. It's not Jesus. It's just Jack in a better version than this. With the reminder, let's delight in the Lord. Truly, free yourself from guilt and shame with disclosure, confession, admission. This is what our entire world is waiting for, this disclosure, confession, and admission, so that the truth may be freely shared and known. In my own personal life cycles, I found that there is a mysterious power contained with the truth you have learned. For the truth you have learned plus the truth you can imagine creates these fear and angry reactions. Without love in our hearts and our minds, we find confusion and blame. But without fear, we find the answers that bring forth comfort and resolve. So, brothers and sisters, I truly am. I am inspired with love again today, and I feel good, man. I feel good about feeling good, too. I don't have any guilt within me. I really don't. I have a clear conscience, and it really feels good. Because compared to the way I used to live, right, with a guilty conscience and all this shame and unworthiness inside of me, God, it made me do the stupidest things, man. And I see a lot of people playing themselves out like I used to do, but not like I used to be. I've never been like some of these characters that have been online, man. Praise God. Which, for those who are a part of this drama legacy, the lore that's around the Jack Talcott one, the Talcottian one, and Unslavia, and all the drama and hilariousness that's been going on, there's something magical. There's something pretty cool that's happening. And I don't think people see the bigger picture like I do. That was one of my notes today. I've got a bunch of notes today. Oh, yeah, let me address what's in the description. In the description is, God, I look big. The camera settings. I just fill up the screen, don't I, man? Holy cows. In the, am I sharing this? I don't have my multiple things going. Yeah, well, in the description of the video, there's some links. I forgot yesterday on Monday, I actually didn't do a live stream on my own channel, but I did spend time with our friend Snafu covering some world events, and the link is in the description. I can drop it again too for anyone who wants it. Then I also found my way to the Think Institute, another channel on YouTube. They were having some debates, presenting some theory, some arguments for Christianity. And so I joined that live stream yesterday and introduced myself. And I tell you what, I was pretty impressed, man. I admired the way the gentleman, communicated with each other. So the links are in the descriptions for that. I got a bunch of notes. You know what? It's another day. I will get through these topics, though. Disclosure, admission, confession. Well, it's a simple concept. Think about it for yourself. There you go. Okay. Just remember to go and think about those ideas for yourself. Disclosure, admission, and confession, and how that relates to a clear conscience or a guilty conscience. Right? That power of truth that reveals our guilt, our shame. Once we admit our guilt, our shame, we can be free of it. Once we confess it, once we disclose that maybe we weren't as we presented ourselves, that's when you can really feel better about yourself, once you're honest. That's what it all comes down to. The way of Jesus is just perfectly honest. Praise God. Have faith in God, walk with love, and pay attention. Pay attention to the truth that is shown to you in your life. I mean, because this is the once in a lifetime chance for you to be you. No one else gets that chance to be you, like you. But how do you like being you? That's what you got to figure out for yourself. How do you like being you more if you're constantly walking around in anxiety or depression or just in a bad mood? I used to do that stuff, man. It's a misery. You don't want to live like that. I'm telling you. One of my inspirations today, there were so many. You really need nothing when you accept you have what you need. Think about that thought, please. When you have what you need nothing. So it's a state of being. It's a state of mind. I was recognizing my place here on earth in heaven. I'm in a state of heaven because I have no needs. I have no worries. I have no guilt. I have no shame. I have no anxiety. I'm just sitting here with perfection, man. And I'm like, dude, I'm pretty sure this is what God wanted us to do, is to be with perfection. And when I say the world is perfect, the ego mind, it automatically comes to all the ways that I'm wrong, right? The world is clearly not perfect when there's man-made, right? Men and women have chosen to starve out children, moms and dads, right? Yeah, we know the wars. We know the nonsense, Jack. We know why you do what you do, okay? So it's hard to accept that the world is perfect when all of that evil and just destruction is happening. But it is. The order of nature that has grown us, right? However we came into being, we being the human species, however we came into being here on Earth, Mother Earth, has sustained us perfectly. We're a perfect part. We've adapted, right? Through the shelter and the electricity and all these conveniences, we've adapted to where we are. But Mother Earth has always provided for us. It's like the thought I had earlier is like, an apple tree, the fruits of vegetation, right? A plant will produce its fruits. Well, Mother Earth is the plant that produces the plants and the animals. And so we're like the fruit of Mother Earth with the higher mind of consciousness than like the bears and the beasts and the animals. But if they look at us like I see us, the human species, paying for education and paying for war and paying for Just sickness, man. Disease and toxicity. If I was an animal looking at the human species, I'd be like, I can't wait until they are gone. I will be so glad when they have left this neighborhood, right? Because the animals and the insects and everything else, they're defenseless against mankind. Holy crap, we pave over everything, we build on top of everything, we dig everything out, and then we just gotta find new places to put our trash. We have the power to change society however we want. That's what I want to talk about. And holy cows, I just realized. I remember I had a guest in the back. Cage, if you're there, I wasn't leaving you there intentionally. I just wanted to get some of these thoughts out. So, for those who are present and interested, you're welcome to click the link and join. The topic of disclosure, admissions, and confessions. Here, let me do this a little better. That really came from the conversations I had with Snafu yesterday. I'll drop the link. It's in the description. But the conversations we had together were more pointed at world events, some of the bigger things that are happening in the world, some of the movements and the wars, right? The devastation that's really going on. So we discussed some of those things, and I am a man about ending secrets. There's other organizations working on specifically the disclosure project, trying to work through the legal systems to create this transparency of government that everyone claims to want, but there's people doing stuff that really aren't receiving the support I think they should. Here, and I'm not sure if this is or is not, so let me just bear with me a moment. We'll go with this, and welcome.
What's up?
All right, that is Landry.
Yeah, it's me.
Okay.
I wanted to blend in with the 333. I see it in everyone's PayPal.
People do the most random things. People are fascinating, dude.
Yeah, it's true. How did you get that PayPal number?
My PayPal number?
Doesn't it end with 333?
Oh yeah, it does.
I don't know if it's just like a thing that people used to do, and then they all copied each other. But I thought it was funny. Dude,
I have no idea. At one time, I had the Live Without Fear PayPal or something. You know what? This electronic stuff, man. Yeah, I don't
beyond know. You.
Yes, I do my best, but I don't give it a lot of time or attention.
All right.
But I may have chosen it if my name wasn't there. Who knows? Because I did get into numbers and signs and stuff like that for a little while. And 333, I don't remember any of what I.
Yeah, I don't either. Maybe you and OTW did it at the same time, and that's why you'll have the same number. Who knows? Well, I hope you're doing well. I did want to reach out privately, but my mistake for not catching you in time. How are you feeling? How are things?
Dude, I'm truly blessed.
That's good.
Truly blessed. And I do hope we talk again. I had some ideas for you.
Sure. Yeah, I need some ideas right now. I'm looking for something to sink my teeth into.
There's many, many options. I encourage you to play along with my idea. Let's find out. Well, I was thinking about this earlier. Just conceptually consider these ideas, right? The path for success. The path for success and for achievement. It's the same path as changing the world. Okay. Because for me, that would be my success, my achievement. But the principles of success and achievement are quite simple. So if you apply the principles of success and achievement towards changing the world can be quite simple. And the most simple way to create success and achievement is to align with other people who want the same thing as you. You don't have to like each other. You don't even have to respect each other. But if you can focus together and capture talents, bringing talents and efforts together, you can make anything happen. I mean, that's what corporations do. They just do it by a paycheck. I'm trying to get people to see the value in really doing something incredible. Does that make sense?
Yeah, in some ways. I mean, we're all. Yeah, no, it does make sense. It does. Yes.
And admittedly, applying these ideas to specifics, I was considering. One of the things I did learn from Tony Robbins specifically, right? Successful people, they're not afraid to ask for help. They're not afraid to go to others and say, "Hey, I'm unable to accomplish this, but I know that you can." So, but successful people, they also don't go empty-handed. They know the value of exchange. So they go prepared to offer something and say, "Hey, in exchange for this, how about we do this?" That's what mutual exchange and cooperation is all about. So, using those ideas, I want to talk to Donald Trump and his ego. I want to help him realize the opportunities that the people around him may not have seen. What's his name? Hegseth, pretty fucking excited about the being the war secretary of war now. Based on the little bit I've heard of his reputation, that doesn't really make me proud as a man who served the active duty in the army, right? So I'd like to talk to Donald Trump and let him know that there's better ways for him to present himself. And I bet if he was willing to join my efforts, he probably knows we could recruit the best of the best out of America, the best of the best negotiators, and we could get all these state leaders to a table and say, "Hey, it's time to change things. Here's the facts, and here's why we're going to do it." And initially, some of the wealthy people, the powerful people, the people who've had success, they may not really buy in on the idea, but you know what? This life we've got is kind of unfair. And once you accept that life can be unfair and sometimes you have to do things you don't really want to do, then there's no fucking problems. I want to help Donald Trump see that he's got the opportunity to end wars and save the lives of many, many people. Do you want to join that?
Let me think on that.
Please do.
Oh yeah, thank you.
I appreciate that. Melanie, yes, I have. Here's what a lot of people aren't realizing. I had a conversation privately on a topic earlier about how there's a lot of confusion in today's time regarding the power of manifestation. Melanie, that's probably a good book for me to check out because the subconscious and the mind is my favorite topic, right? But this is true. You put yourself in that position that you are desiring as if it has already happened. And I have. I've spent time there and beyond that into the results of that success, right? So I've done that, but then I've also gone back to where I am to see the path, okay? Because God is the giver of answers. And I go to God for the answers. Guide me, lead me, show me the way to achieve this that I want. Because prayer without faith, without action, right? It's pointless. To know your faith, you got to really be bold. And praise God. God's been allowing me to learn how to safely become much more bold with what I want.
So there's no characters in the back?
No,
It's
no.
fascinating.
Isn't it? Dude,
Yeah.
I was noticing, I don't know if you noticed, but my subscriber count, it went, I don't remember where I was when you showed up. I think it was about 2.46. And then we went up to 4.7, and then I dropped back down to 4.5. And right now it's just at 60, I think.
What do you think that is?
I have no clue. I've lost 6 subscribers in the last 28 days, according to the data.
Yeah, man, it's the Wild West out here in the internet. That's for sure.
Well, this is what I mean, dude. You can't control the data. You can't control the results. All you can control is what you choose to do. And I am choosing, Landry. I'm breaking away from this panelverse nonsense. It's not healthy for me. It's been unproductive.
I agree. No, it's definitely not. It's not a. It is weird though. It is like a psychological phenomenon. How it works, especially for someone like me who's not really used to it. But I mean, the thing is like, I mean, you can say that we're breaking away from the panelverse, but I mean, how exactly do we do that if we engage with the same people, even if it isn't in the same way?
I'm glad you asked that. We go elsewhere. And I went elsewhere yesterday. And this is in the link as well. Discovered through I've mentioned Wi-Fi Gospel, I think the last time I live streamed. And then I saw they were doing a debate discussion. Anyway, this is another channel I discovered, the Think Institute. And for those of you who are of or exploring the Christian faith, just the little bit I saw of this guy, I encourage you to check him out. See for yourself. His devotion and his compassion in his ability to communicate stood out to me. So personally, I intend to explore his work more. And that's partly how I get away from the craziness, is I start talking to people who actually give a shit about people.
Mm-hmm. That's a good point. Yeah. So I don't know, man. I've felt as though my biggest mistake here has been just cutting people off because they take it personally and they try to seek out revenge. And it's like shocking to me that people behave like that. So, but I do think you're right. I want to, and I've done it twice now, but like both times I've encountered issues as far as TOS goes. I had to pull it down, but it was good conversations. With these people who aren't in the panelverse. There was a Bill Doval and another guy.
I saw one of them you did. I was disappointed to see it go because I paused in the middle of it, I think, and didn't get to catch the end.
Was it the one where he was talking about Epstein?
I didn't catch that part.
Okay, well, maybe it was a different guy then.
I think a Bill that might have
been. Yeah, that was him. Yeah. I mean, dude, you should have him on your show.
He seemed fascinating. I can't remember the specifics, but I remembered enjoying listening to him.
He just said some words. It was like once or twice. It's all good, but he said it like 20 or 30 times. I didn't go over it with him in the beginning, so it's. And I'm all about free speech, but it's a dance.
It is. You got to play by their rules in their houses, but there's ways. And it's a learning experience. That's what I've been learning. What you're saying, there's repercussions to blocking them. There's repercussions to not blocking them. So what do? a lot of times you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. I've been really trying to practice on focusing on what I want. What I don't want, people will give you plenty of that, right? There's plenty of ways to find what you don't want. But if we live life, seize the day, capture each moment, and see what we can get away with, right? What can I improve? Oh, totally different concept. The idea of perfection. I started in this conversation earlier. When I say the world is perfect, it's obviously not. There's so much darkness and flaws. But if you can trust that perfection is growing. Perfection doesn't get better, but it grows. And until it reaches the absolute perfection, and the absolute perfection is God. It all makes sense. It all comes back to God, and it starts with God, and it ends with God. And we're like the middle part of this crazy story. We're not the middle part. Who knows where we are in the storyline.
Might be the end. Or the beginning. Or both.
It is. Dude, I really think it is. My loose interpretations of the prophecies, I see it all coming to be. This is the time of the new kingdom, the day of the judgment, the day of judgment, the day of our Lord. It is here. And we will be rejoicing and celebrating and becoming so excited that things are different than they used to be. That's the exact experience I already went through with my spiritual awakening. I've spent the last 7 years trying to figure out how to explain and hopefully help replicate what happened with me. I'm getting close. And see, I think if I can speak to the men and women of Congress, Donald Trump, and the other UN leaders, the state leaders, which it would be easy to accomplish. I mean, we've got technology. We can set up a fucking conference call very simply and have everyone together, and we can discuss about what's going on. The world we live in, we were born into a society that we have, but we have the power to change this society however we want. However we want this world to be, God has given mankind the power. We get to decide, what are we going to do? I want to quit cupcaking, and actually, something about me, I am a very serious man.
Sorry, that cupcake wasn't for you. It was it was from the previous stream.
Hey, no worries, Landry. No worries, man.
I had to adopt that language because everyone here just keeps using it.
I could have done a better job maybe of helping you understand what you were walking into.
I still don't understand it.
This shit is crazy. First you think you understand, and then you don't, and then it changes, and then you were right, but then you were wrong. It's like what I've been really trying to do with every individual is just to be present, to be more in the now. And as long as people are pleasant in the now, there's no problem. But I've still been carrying around resentments from the past, and I've been actually getting over a lot of them. I'm feeling pretty good about where I'm at now. Because here, when you can see the bigger picture, you can know the greater plans. I mean, if you just follow that logic, it makes sense. When you can see the bigger picture, you can know the greater plans. God has allowed me in my mind to mentally see a big picture of society, the development of our governments, our economic systems. I've seen evidence of a lot. And that's what gives me such great hope for the future, because I believe God's plans are justice and righteousness. Those will prevail. Because nothing hidden can stay hidden. It violates the laws of nature. The nature of love is revealing, and love reveals the truth. That's why it's so important for us to, if we suspect something, it's important for us to ask questions. I forgot. I've got a slideshow too. Or I've got slides today. You doing okay, Landry?
Of course. I'm just trying to listen.
You're welcome to jump in as any ideas or questions or any thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, I have tons of. I don't really understand. Like, I mean, what is just? I'm trying to follow the language, and I know there's a lot of aspects of language that I don't understand. Sorry, I mean, I think that's even a word I don't know if I get. But yeah, so it's just. I mean, I'm curious about the specificity of these words, these disclosures and secrets and all this. I mean, it just seems like it's got some layers.
Well, yes, there are layers, and this is where the power of truth. It's, to me, truth is God. I mean, this is kind of why I was excited about these guys last night, is they're men of faith, and they have a deep love for God. And my love for God is something new to me. I didn't know you could love, I didn't know you could love something you don't know intimately, but I feel like I know God. God is the truth. God is the source of truth. God is the giver of truth. God is the knower of truth. There is a knower of truth that is within us, all of us. That knower of truth is the pure conscience that God has given us, right? It's the mind, the biology of these bodies. I mean, here, to take another drift off in the topic, but earlier today, I'm in heaven. I'm house sitting for friends, supporting each other. For me, this is more comfortable than my apartment now. And so I'm sitting here without anywhere to go, nothing to do. And so I spend time in massage. My back muscles, my shoulder muscles, my leg muscles, they've released so much today. I've spent hours in ecstasy. The biology of our body, the way our human body is created, it's inspiring. It's awe-inspiring. It's beyond description. So we all have the capacity to fall in love with life. That's how you show your love for God. It's really that simple. And so if you feel good about who you are, you know that God is the truth. The truth is always with you. As long as you stay with the truth, you can sleep well at night. Now, when you withhold the truth from yourself or others, and what I mean by you withhold the truth from yourself, someone tells you something and you say, no, not hearing it. Well, your subconscious heard it. It's a real reflection in your life. You heard the truth. If you deny that you heard it and you actually did, you're lying to yourself. So part of disclosure is an inner disclosure to accept what we've been denying for ourselves, and then disclosing to others, hey, I said this and this wasn't correct. I said this and this wasn't right. To me, that's what disclosure is. And if our governments did that, holy cows, man, we might end up in the Star Trek age, like Next Generation stuff. It's available here and now. So I think.
Thank you. That was a good elaboration.
The big thing in my recovery, Landry, what I personally learned, my addiction was the same as my doubts. I kept telling myself the same things and allowing myself to be unresolved, unreconciled. And I was looking for answers outside, but that wasn't where they were. Eventually, I got tired of feeling shameful and guilty. And I swear the one commitment I made to myself changed my life forever. I looked at myself in the mirror and said, Jack, what you've got is not good enough. Not anymore. No more excuses. No more blame. It's time to be responsible. And that's what I've been dealing with. I have not allowed myself many excuses, despite, well, with the exceptions of the nicotine, the caffeine, the sugar, the stuff I know isn't good for me. But I don't allow myself a lot of excuses, because people who allow themselves excuses find themselves with people like Donald Trump as the president. I can't accept that as a proper representation of me. He is not. But he is a reflection of us, the people, right? So we, the people, have more power than those people in suits. Remember, all we got to do is have conversations with them, remind them where the power lies. But because the people are so disorganized, what do?
Fight amongst each other?
That seems to be what a lot of people have chosen. And I used to do that. Once I got involved in the toxic part, the looping arguments and panel to panel to panel, once I got involved in that, I was seeing the pattern from my past. Me and my buddies hanging out at the bar, complaining and gossiping and just bullshitting, not really doing much, but entertaining ourselves. I find entertainment in getting shit done. That's my favorite thing to do. Well, besides sitting on my ass and massaging myself. That too. See, I'm a contradiction, just like everyone else. We're all complicated, and we're a contradiction, just walking. But our biggest danger is to ourselves. Because if we allow ourselves excuses to lie, we can't trust ourselves anymore. The truth shall set us free. Let's work together to get the truth disclosed. Then we don't have to worry about children being denied education or getting sent off to war so that they can try and pay for college. We can turn this society into anything we want. The founders, right? The founding fathers that we all look up to, they showed us that. So let's follow the example, the good examples of those who came before us. Dr. King was my inspiration initially, and I've never met him. But truly, the only way to avoid guilt and shame is to be honest. Honest about what you can do, honest about what you cannot, what you won't do, and then just do as you say you're going to do. And I tell you what, I'm going to spend the rest of my life on this goal, trying to find a way to end wars, bring the reforms so that people don't have to work so hard to survive. Because truly, the Star Trek image I'm looking at, they had no money system. I'm pretty sure that's what Jesus would promote. So this was one of the questions asked in that conversation last night. How could we have so much support from the churches towards someone like Donald Trump? How can that be? It's a contradiction. It doesn't make sense. I'm pretty sure Jesus would not approve of what America has become. For those who do call themselves Christians, I think it's time for us to step it up. And if we do, well, changing the world will be simple. All we got to do for success, back to success and achievement, you don't just go to anyone for the help. You go to those who you believe can be of support. And where I probably failed with you, Landry, was I didn't show you the appreciation I felt. Maybe that.
Well, hey, no, but I want to go ahead and acknowledge the fact that, I mean, you were obviously, there are some things that you were right about, and that's where we can concede about these things. And I don't mean to get into, because this will be like, I'll keep it short so it's not panely, but it's just, there obviously was people in my ear, and I did catch myself saying things that maybe I wasn't actually thinking. And as I noticed others doing that, you start to like take on the opinions of other people without noticing it. So I acknowledge that was true, and that it happened pretty much immediately when we started working together. So yeah, it was almost like somebody, was interfering in a way. So maybe this whole time, if that wouldn't have happened, who knows what would be going on? Because you're right, I didn't spend as much time on the projects as I could. So,
Hey, I appreciate that. Thank you. You are a good
young man.
Well, you are. You're youthful.
I'm not youthful, dude. I told the AI, I was like, hey, can you give me a prompt for this picture so I can make like a cartoon me? And it's like, man in his late 30s / early 40s doing blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, damn, dude.
Hey.
That is 10 to 15 years older than I actually am. And it's funny because whenever I say stuff like that, the self-deprecation, I think it should just be fun and love. But people come and they're like, oh my God, now I'm going to use this as the ammo. It's like, dude, right. You can't hurt me with what's already been, joked about.
Yeah, but they do, and it gets old. And yeah.
Yeah, it gets real old. Yeah. I mean, here's my issue right now is like, I do want to take a break from like this space, but I also feel as though I'm such a, like I have a lot of drive and I don't know where to put it sometimes. And it is getting nice outside, and I want to start doing things out in the real world, but I'm curious what things would be most useful to be done. You know what I mean? I don't think it's just going to be walking around is going to be the best goal. So.
Sorry, there's some defense. Not the young man. You're not 86 and Landry's not 15. Fair enough. You're right. Life is a trip, man. I am feeling like an elder, though, to be honest. I am kind of the older guy in a lot of ways. Maybe. Well, no, I'm not. There's a lot of old crusty fuckers around.
This is an old space on the internet. My analytics, there's 0 people under the age of 24. 0.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that, but kind of glad because I thought it was just me. I figured, yeah, I can understand the kids don't really want to listen to an old fart like me. I get it. But hey, Landry, seriously,
we can chat privately later on. I'll be around.
Good. I appreciate it. Because on this trip, I was reminded I do intend to be traveling a lot more. And
yeah, I want to.
Yeah, I remember you saying that. So let's talk and we'll see what happens.
All right, man. Sounds good. Thank you.
So, yes, I think, yeah, the link is still pinned for those who may wish to join. I don't have to run for a long time, but I've got a bunch of notes here on God. Sincerely. If you can toy with these ideas for yourself and it makes sense to you, well, then you know it, like I know it. And if one of the things I've been considering, it could because I've been attending these other debate panels regarding God and atheism and all these different philosophies, and it's fascinating to me. It's fascinating. But you can't intellectually know God. You know, just like maybe this is a trick for yourself as well, because we are reflections of the divine. And so you can't really intellectualize who you are. You might imagine yourself in different scenarios, but you don't know what you're going to do, how you're going to be, and the multitude of different possibilities, right? So you don't know who you are. You can't intellectualize God. You've got to experience God. And the only way to experience God is to stop denying God. Okay? If you accept God with a willingness that I don't know you, but I want to know you. I believe that I want to know you, right? I don't know how to get beyond my doubts or disbelief, but if you follow that path for yourself, I'm pretty sure that's all God wants from us, is our willingness to know, our willingness to seek, and our willingness to accept and receive the love of God, to feel the way that I feel, to experience what's in my memories, right? The memories of what I've experienced and how I have felt bliss, ecstasy, just beyond anything sex can bring, to be honest. Just, well, let me not exaggerate, because I don't know. It's been a long time. So comparatively, yeah, it's any greater than any sex could bring. That's for sure. But it's addictive. Once you find the perfection, right? This love that just overtakes you and you move beyond your mind. You're like beyond the body. You're beyond your mind. You're just like in this infinite nothingness that's just enveloping you in this comfort. And it's just, my prayer is for this day of judgment that has been foretold, for the truth to be set free, for other men and women like me who want a better world for everyone. We can reclaim this world in the name and ways of Jesus. You just got to try. And you got to not so much try, but you just got to do it with the faith that your trying will lead you to success. Okay. It's not just a half-ass, oh, I tried. I told myself I tried, so I tried. No, none of that nonsense. You actually put in the heart, man. You put in your heart to achieve your heart's desire. What can stop you? Only you. I truly do feel blessed. God has truly blessed me. And my life, my love for God is truly, it's something new for me, but it's just, once you see it, you can't stop it. You just seek more of it. And it's like finding beauty. Once you find beauty, you get a taste for it. You love it. Many people do that in many different ways, but we have a God from which is the source of all light and energy, all movement and stillness. It all comes from the same source. And you are that source in your experience. You are the source of life that you surround yourself, right? So we are reflections of the divine creation of God. And I think Jesus, the story of Jesus being perfected with love, being perfectly truthful, He didn't lie. He didn't deceive. He didn't cheat. He didn't make excuses. He did what he did, man. And we can do the same thing if you trust in God. But how do you know God if you don't know what is true? You got to rely on that which you know to be true, and only that. But for me, I've come to the conclusions. I've seen enough and experienced enough. God has shown me only God is real, only God is true, and God is love. So the love for you that's waiting for you to seek, right? The love from God that's waiting for you to seek and to know. I'm sure it's more than what I've got. I mean, I don't know. We have a singular God that presents itself to us in many different ways. God reveals itself, the truth reveals itself to you, just like me. It reveals itself perfectly around you. Around you is what is true. Within you is what is true, right? So when you stay aligned with what is true, you're with God. Now, the truth can hurt. The world will hurt you. I mean, it can. It's created for that because it's created for the strong and the weak. We get to decide who survives to some extent, but the others, no, maybe we don't. I don't know. I don't know. In the end, it's really just God. It's God doing it all. It's God doing you, but how do you feel about you? How do you feel about what you are doing in your life? I'm asking you to ask yourself, right? I don't need the answers, but you tell yourself, what are you doing? How do you feel about doing you in your life with God? Now, if you really bring in the idea that you are with God, then what might you be able to do? And I think we might have a real treat. And just, I got to play it safe these days. And let me just make sure. Is this who I think it is?
Yeah, yeah, you know who it
Welcome back, my brother. Good to see you. How have you been?
you know, it's a ebb and flow. You know, things are things are is what it is. You know, just wanted to come up and say what's up.
I appreciate it. I'm glad you're here.
You look good, buddy. Is everything okay with you?
Dude, I am feeling good. God has me living such an amazing adventure.
Yes.
You're a bit.
All right, continue what you're saying. Sorry.
Well, right now I'm in, I don't know what you know or don't know, but I know you've been away for a while. So right now I'm in New Orleans.
Oh
I'm
wow,
house sitting for Rose 777 and Jason.
house sitting. Wow, it's
Yeah,
like it's like your own little Airbnb going on.
it is, dude. It's actually far more comfortable than my apartment in Baltimore. But
You were in Baltimore for a while.
well, that's where I moved to. Yeah,
Okay.
I got evicted from my house in Washington in
Oh wow.
Spokane. And then I went to Paradise, Utah and visited some estranged family I didn't really know. And then I went to a campground in Colorado. I visited Flow State in Kansas City. And then I hit Baltimore and I
It's the
got a place
Talcott
there.
across America tour here. That's cool, man. I'm sure you've been enjoying your travels. That's got to be fun to see new cities. And well, I don't know if you've been to these new cities or not. You probably have. You look like a well cultured man. You know.
Yes and no. I hope to travel a lot more. I'd never been to New Orleans until this year. And this is my second time. And I went to Dallas recently.
Oh, okay.
Um, So, and I plan on traveling a lot more. I was talking about that earlier because this world we've been given, it is so beautiful.
Which one of these spots did you vibe with the most? Which did you feel like? I could pitch a tent here for a while. You know what I'm saying? Which one did you feel an affinity for the most?
God, that's a tough one right now because where my sister's at, it's named Paradise, Utah, and
Yeah,
it is the mountains and the it's just freaking gorgeous there. But
yeah.
where I'm at, New Orleans has an energy here, man, and I want to explore it some more.
I've heard like the party scene has died down quite a bit um since I mean, since I guess Katrina,
Yeah,
there's been a steady down decline in that. I mean, I guess it's like good to some degree. People shouldn't be engaged in Jericho behavior, you know what I mean? But, I get it.
right. Um, hey, in Colorado, I stopped at a campground called the, excuse me, Suspicious Observers. I mentioned that it's his YouTube channel too, or maybe it was Suspicious Observers. Now it's Space Weather News, but guy named
Suspicious Observer is quite a name.
well,
Sounds
his
voyeuristic a little bit. Sounds like
his
some peeping toms.
his focus is on the sun,
Okay.
the sun and the energetic shifts of the poles here on Earth.
Mhm.
He's been studying the catastrophic cycles of the planet, and I recommend him a lot. I'll pull up it. Maybe I can pull up his link, but or maybe a mod mic. If you know who I'm talking about, can
You got
someone share the link?
some active mods down there. They're like linking my channel, and that's crazy. Nobody should come to my channel. I appreciate it, though. I appreciate it though. But you've got some active people down there. Some real
I don't know.
there.
I've
You got
found myself.
a
What's
good
that?
team, Talcott. Let me say that. Okay. You got a good team. They support you. And that's pretty cool to see.
Thank you. It is. It really is cool to be part of a team
Yeah.
and to have that team for me or with me. That it is. It's humbling, and it
Yeah.
really is appreciated. But let me toss this out there. There's business opportunities too with the team Talcott, team Live Without Fear. I got big goals and big ambitions, but
Gotta
I
put
don't
some
know where
classifieds
exactly
out.
to go.
Gotta put some classifieds out for some employment positions and Team Talcott, the startup company. Okay.
I'm recruiting.
You're recruiting. Okay. That's hopeful. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's coming together too. There's actually, you have some incredible talent yourself, my friend. I haven't seen the extent of it, but I know I've loved what I've seen.
Right now I'm not really in the creative mode. I'm in a different state altogether, honestly. Not like the geography state. This is a different state of mine altogether. So
I got you.
I'm trying to
Please,
work through that. So
please let me remind you that it may be the solution you need. Okay. Because you are a creator being, you're created to create. And
yeah,
if you
I
don't,
just think I didn't mean to cut you off. Just so I think a little bit of peace and quiet for me is needed. I think I was running on autopilot, last year, just kind of doing all sorts of ridiculous things and being a ridiculous person and leaving a trail of fire behind me. I'm not really particularly proud of it, but I just need some quiet reflection these days. So that's just what I'm doing, keeping to myself a little bit and not. I'm doing less talking and more listening and accepting. So I think
that's,
it's healthy for my loudmouth, ridiculous ass. So
dude, those are lessons I had to learn. So congratulations, my friend. It's sometimes you do need to step back and withdraw and just reevaluate. And and I'm sure you're going to get. I'm sure you'll clear the cobwebs. You'll get some clarity in your mind and heart again soon, and you'll be back to creating craziness again.
yeah, it's like you're talking to me earlier about being president in the now, and it's like it's hard to do that sometimes with like ruminating thoughts.
Mhm.
The now reminds you that when we talk about what the now is, you're still reminded of what your present state is now, and
Mhm.
it's hard to avoid that. And it's like when I think like I don't think being present in the now is this sort of catatonic state. I think it's more of like an acceptance of what's going on in your life, and a moment not to escape it. A lot of people, um and I think I was doing that a good bit last year. I was sort of trying to be a sort of shark and keep it moving, and doing things to like hide obviously the things that are fucking going on with me and mentally. So uh sometimes the now is not exactly like a peaceful thing. Now is a sort of a confrontational thing, not like hard confrontation, but like it's up to you to like accept what's going on in your life, and then stop crowding it with things and hiding it and putting it under rugs. It's you got at some point at the end of the day you're left with it. So it's up to you to figure out where to go from that point.
I've talked about an idea I have called experiential alchemy. It's a practice that a lot of people use, but it's a mind practice. And where you're at, what I heard from you is true. Sometimes right now, the now that is, it's a reminder of the pain of the past, or it's a forecast of the gloom of the future. Right now can be a pretty challenging time. But if you can remember, your experience is greatly affected by your state of mind. Okay. And your state of mind is going to be directed by what your focus is on. And so, especially, this is, I think, what I truly believe the teachings from the Bible are absolutely truth. It's a refinement, right? We go through these periods of refinement where we're humbled, we're lost, we don't know what to do. Nothing makes sense. And the things that were working, they're not working anymore. And you're fucked. You're not. It's time to go to God. And this is actually perfect in line with this topic that I want to point to, the benefit of admitting confession. Going to God, right? The mind that's beyond your own, and saying, hey, I'm stuck and I don't want to be stuck. And I have faith that you want me to not be stuck, that you want me to be at peace. You want me to be at comfort. You want me to be grateful. Gratitude, man, that's the key to happiness.
Yeah, that's definitely true. I do return. I always, sometimes I definitely do forget, my faith at times, the way I carry myself, and uh, yeah, I know it's funny.
You're a good dude, man.
But
You're a good dude. Sorry.
no, you're fine. You're fine. No, I mean, I just, I have my faith, and then I still have to navigate stuff that's real in my life. Just because I pray and I have faith, but I still have to forge through what's going on. I can't. It's not like a lobotomizing event where I get on my knees and I pray to God. I still have to do the work to some degree. My salvation has nothing to do with what I do in my work. My salvation is in my faith, but my day to day, it's something that I have to deal with personally. So, and
You're,
it's not pretty, man. It's not pretty. It's not roses and bubbles. You know what I mean? It's tough sometimes, man. It's tough to deal with lacks. Anguish and lack. So and I didn't expect myself to come up here and talk like that, but I'm just
it's natural.
trying to be trying to try something different.
I appreciate your honesty, man. You're a good dude. I've loved hanging out, spending time, and watching you. You're a good dude, and I think I can understand what you're talking about though too. You're being tested, and I really, really want to offer you feedback, but I don't want it to be confusing either.
No, you just go for it. We're here when in Rome, you know what I'm saying?
Well, the thought that came to my mind is I wonder, have you gotten comfortable with a routine, and is it time for you to test out your faith?
Um I sort of have this stumbling block where I'm not trying to drag things that I have to deal with and covering them up with like activities. You know what I mean? Like people always are trying to say, well, you just need to do this, that, and the other. And, you know, that stuff will sort of work its way out. I mean, I get it. Feelings aren't final. Feelings aren't just like forever. I get that, you know, but what I don't want to do is I don't want to drag my problems into these new activities and patterns or you know what I do on my day-to-day basis. I don't want to just like drag those things and it be sort of this lingering thing in the peripheral, just always there and not dealt with. You know what I mean? That's the thing. It's like there's for for me, it's like there's three, and I think I've talked about this before. There's like three sort of like puzzle pieces here. So there's the puzzle piece A where it's like the stuff that you got to deal with and that's like really holding you back and stunting you as a person. And then there's the B. The B is like the B puzzle piece is like the work you got to do to get out of it. And then C is like the product, the end product, which is like you're now free to like pursue like activities and fully enjoy them, and you know, as you say, be present in those activities. But the problem is like I think a lot of people are like they are always recommending me C while I'm in block A. You know what I mean? They don't understand that there's a piece in between those two that gets skipped around, and I don't want to like, because then it's just like a repeating thing. I'm now I've taken block A to block C without dealing with B, and now the next thing you know, it's going to repeat again. Now I'm back at square A again, but now I just have activities that I do with it, so it's just it's hidden even more. You know what I mean?
I don't mean to laugh, but I think I get you. It sounds like you might be overcomplicating it though. Because what I mean by that is we have this part within us, the analyzer, that creates these rules that must be followed for us to do anything. I experienced it recently on an atheist channel. Guy set all these rules out for me to explain perfectly God. And I'm like, well, this ain't gonna work. you know, um, God is beyond the rules. God is beyond the logic. And if you have faith in God's love, brother, you can go forth from here and now with love in your heart, with peace in your mind, you know, and from there, a commitment and a game plan will show itself.
I mean, like, despite like what I'm like going through or whatever, like I still feel I'm like I'm still like grateful and whatnot, and my disposition is certainly not like a mopey Eeyore, you know what I'm saying? But especially when I'm with others, with my family and with friends or whatever, everything's fine, you know, in my church parish and stuff like that. Everything's fine there. It's just at the end of the day, there's still work to be done, and I'm just trying to figure that out. That's all.
Trust the work is done. Trust that you are prepared. Trust that God has you perfectly where you're supposed to be in your spiritual development, your mental development, in your physical condition. God's got you, brother. I just realized.
Yeah,
Please,
I try to, you know, I don't, when it gets too serious in my head, I'm just like, oh, this is just too much. I'm just, this is water off my back. I'm just like, gonna keep moving.
there you go.
it's like, all right, now I've gotten to the point where this is getting too much and kind of
Right.
ridiculous. But it's not like I don't think about the stuff. I don't like sort of try to, I don't know, examine the things that's going on, examine the things that I've done and said, and my, my upbringing and whatnot. That's stuff that I never really got any real sort of closure or like um help with, you know what I mean? I sort of had to navigate that on my own, and I don't know. Sometimes I was being too smart for my own good didn't help because I just ended up not doing the right thing because I thought I was doing the right thing because I think I'm a fucking smart ass and I know what's going on, but it's definitely not the case sometimes because it all comes crashing down at some point because
Well, that's what happens. There's a perfect order that's happening. And if you're willing, I've 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 been blessed to learn and to experience a lot, and I found what works for me. And if you're willing to explore some ideas, I'd be happy to share some time. But I did want to address this for the viewers, the folks who are tuned in. Mr. Talcott seems to know this guy, but the rest of us have never seen or heard of him before.
yeah, the old moniker that I had is something that I think like had some sort of like weird effect on who I was as a person. I think I think that has some sort of, I don't know if it's like, subliminal or something. I don't know, but I felt like that had to be put to rest. That was not good anymore for me.
You know,
That whole direction was just not something that I wanted to be a part of anymore. So I'm back to where I felt like I was uh happier.
more you. Hey, we're learning and growing together. I've got another guest here, but I did want to. I've got a few slides I want to go through as well.
Hello.
Welcome, Zatoichi.
How are
Welcome
you?
back.
How are you doing, Jack?
I'm feeling blessed. How are you?
I'm feeling blessed too.
Were you joining with anything specific or any? I realized we were kind of discussing ancient waves, modern graves here for a little bit, but were you joining with any ideas?
Well, what would you like to discuss? I mean, I'm open to anything.
Actually, I was kind of prepared to start these.
Jack, I got to bounce here out for a little bit, so I appreciate talking to you, buddy. Zato, nice to see you, buddy. Nice to meet you.
You too, man.
You guys have a great night. I gotta go. Flounder around, walk the streets or whatever, and aimlessly. Yeah, I'll see you later, Jack. Appreciate you.
Much love. Thank you for stopping by. Sincerely, it's great to connect with you again. Peace. Yeah, here. Perfect timing. The topic today: disclosure, confession, admission. They are really the option. We can live with the truth, or we can live with guilt and shame. Right? The weight of secrets. Secrets create guilt and shame. Guilt breeds fear. We got this fear of being caught. We start acting suspicious, and then we're all paranoid. And it's all our own imagination. It's all our own design. And there's people living with habits of fear. I used to be like that. That's why I know. And I see the symptoms in many. People living with fear, it keeps us from peace and freedom. And that works on the individual scale as well as the collective scale. Fear has proven to be very profitable for those who want war.
Not only that, it's profitable for people in the medical industry. They prey on your fear of being fat or your fear of having a skin condition, or they try to promote products based out of your fear of feeling inferior to other people.
Yeah, that's what happens when we have a system that focuses on profits and money. For sure. Hey, I want to welcome back Stephen. How are you today, my friend?
Hello, Jack. Hello. I'm feeling blessed. I'm happy to be here. I'm a little bit late. I didn't know the show was starting over an hour ago, so I apologize for showing up late. But I saw Zatoichi, this character on the screen, and I thought, what is this nincompoop doing over here? I'm sorry. I don't want to start trouble here.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
you don't want to
I'm not
start trouble.
surprised.
You just came to my stream and yelled the N-word again, and you don't want to start trouble, right?
Well, not here.
Not here. That's
Oh,
true,
okay.
Jack.
All right, I get you.
Yeah.
Elsewhere. I'm limiting it to elsewhere. I'm
Okay.
on my best behavior on the Jack Talcott show. But Zatoichi, I did that because you have me banned over there.
But
You
it's
took
not-
money to ban me.
Yes, I took money to ban you. That's all there is
Yeah.
to it. I mean, I made a deal and I'm sticking by it. And it's nothing personal, I assure you.
You made a deal with the devil, though. Would you
Well-
admit to that?
Any of the worldly dealings we make are with the devil, wouldn't you say?
No.
No. No.
Give unto Caesar what is Caesar's.
What does that mean to you?
It means to me that money talks and bullshit walks in the real world.
Wow. You think that's what Jesus meant? Money talks?
Yeah, that's why he flipped over the money changers table, because they were screwing people.
Okay. So what is he? Maybe I'm not understanding you. I've got an idea of what I think when I hear money talks. Why don't you explain what money talks means in context?
Money is the way the world works in our times. You know, I mean, it's money that makes things happen in this world, and it has to do exclusively with this world. Spirituality and money don't mix like oil and water. You know.
Right. So why do you think that Jesus would say that money is the power?
Well, because they said in the Bible, give unto Caesar what is Caesar's. You know, I mean, you have to deal with it. It's not something you can ignore.
That's your interpretation. I have a different one.
Okay.
You know, if Caesar issues the money, give him back his fucking money. Live like Christ, sharing with faith in God and love of one another. You don't need money to do that.
But you need money to achieve some things like building churches or building, you know,
Zatoichi,
a system where you can help the poor.
Zatoichi, that's the ways of the world. That's not the ways of Jesus. That's not the ways of Jack.
Well, Jesus would want to help the poor, wouldn't he?
Zatoichi, I'm suggesting we end poverty by actually confronting and taking control of this corrupted money system.
Okay.
That's what I've been saying over and over and over for years.
Right.
I'm glad you're here today. I'm glad we're having this conversation again because we're getting closer.
Thank you.
Well, I mean, because here, Zatoichi, what you said is true. In the society we live in, even the churches have bent a knee, right? They have to, in order to actually legally organize and have financial support. They have to jump through all these friggin' hoops, just like every other person.
Right.
Well, these rules in society are all created by people. We can change the rules.
Yeah, we can.
Welcome back.
Oh, this guy. He just kicked me off the show, Jack. I'm
please.
sorry.
Please.
I'll
Why
hold
did
it.
why did I do that?
I'll hold it.
Thank you.
You said I had to have 5 seconds on your show.
What did you use
And
those
then
5 seconds to do?
And then in 5 seconds you kicked me off.
What did you say in those 5 seconds?
I believe I said yo, but I can't say the rest of it on the Jack Talcott show.
Thank you, Steve.
I'm censoring myself.
I appreciate that. Thank you, Steve.
You're welcome, Jack. You're welcome.
Thank you.
I let him have it.
And Landry, no doubt it was probably inappropriate. and unhelpful what he said on your stream. I don't need to hear it, but Stephen
to be fair though, it was Black Jesus. It wasn't actually me. It was Black Jesus, a character. So I can't take full responsibility for what Black Jesus says. Only partial.
Same, yeah. I can't take any responsibility for what a modern man says. So,
well, here,
Well,
this
you could wash your hair at least.
please. All right, thank you, Stephen. Let's come back because you have been really doing. You've been wonderful here.
I mean, but we have to wonder why.
Change. Well, we'll find out in the future.
Okay.
You know, I'm Landry. This is something I've been learning for myself. Honestly, the only way we're going to break the loops of the past is if we treat each other in the present, right? And so, as long as people are being polite, I really don't have an excuse to be a dick. And I have been. So.
And Fun Jack is a lot better, I've got to say, not just for me, but when Jack is laughing, it makes us all feel better. I love to hear Jack laughing.
Thank you.
It's fantastic. So
let's
carry on.
I appreciate that. Snafu, I'm not bringing you back up with that name. Okay, that's not going to happen. You're, where were we? Golly geez. Oh, the money system, right? The money system. What I'm really talking about is we have the opportunity to eliminate poverty and hunger, for sure. We have the mechanization, we've got the technology, the refrigeration, the logistics. We've got everything we need to actually really wipe out poverty and help raise the standard of living for every human being on Earth. Why we wouldn't do that, I don't know.
Yes, a big part of the obstacle is probably the Federal Reserve system, the false system, the corrupt system of printing money, and it's in the hands of these billionaires and these corporations, and they pay them at the Federal Reserve to create false inflation, and it's fiat currency. It's all corrupted.
Yeah,
it
it's
has to be stopped.
Why don't we invade North Korea for humanitarian reasons and help those people who are starving under this terrible regime? It's because it's not profitable.
Well, again, why don't we use diplomacy to negotiate on behalf of those oppressed people that we know are being oppressed?
Well, because Kim Jong-un doesn't want to negotiate.
No, because people in America don't give a shit that Donald Trump and the U.S. representatives keep vetoing ceasefire actions. People in America don't seem to give a shit about anyone except themselves. It's been fascinating, the people I've encountered online and off. It's truly, especially the people who call themselves Christians, man, really. Denizen, yes. Welcome back, my friend. I was getting fired up, so it's perfect time.
Hey, Denizen. Hey, Zatoichi, are you a fan of North Korea, of Kim Jong-il? Are you against?
Why would I be? They have to eat bugs to survive.
Eat the bugs. That's what that one guy said.
It's, guys, what's going on in this world is truly crazy. And it's being shown on television, on social media. We've got so many people reporting on it. That's why I don't really feel the need to bring the daily news clips and stuff, because there's so many others doing that. But I do feel like we can change this world very easily. We've just got to get the right people on board with the ideas.
I agree, Jack. I agree. It's all about, that's what it is. We could change it with the right people. And there's always surprises and miracles in this world. I didn't expect Denizen to look this cute. I didn't picture him this way. I didn't know what he looked like until today. I was like, wow, it's cuter than I expected.
That is a cute photo here. Too funny. Too
That's super
funny.
cute.
Hey, not Lowe's to capitalism isn't just an economic system, it's also social engineering. It is. This is one of my theories, or one of the things that stood out to me long ago. I've mentioned the book Outwitting the Devil before, by Napoleon Hill and co-authored by Sharon something or other. It's a book where Napoleon Hill is having a conversation with the devil about how the devil corrupts mankind, and the devil said he uses the churches, he uses the schools to get into the minds of the children, capture the people young. Well, what do the churches teach? Fear and poverty. What do the schools teach? Fear, obedience, and poverty. It's all about the money system. Money by history's record, right? The first as I've heard, I could be wrong, but as I've heard, the first like record keeping of emperors and stuff like that is also the same time as the coinage, right? So the rulers create the coinage and then the slaves go along with paying for survival. It's been going on for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And I think
I
God
think
is
that's true. I think that's true. The coinage and taxation and the record keeping and the tax collectors, and they'd send them out. Even in the times of Jesus, it's written about the tax collectors coming to the door. So it is all tied together. It's one web of an evil system.
Well, it's all about control, isn't it? You know?
Well, it's illusions of control. And the only reason these people of influence and power have any control or power is because other people are willing to go along. They'll take a paycheck and they'll shut their mouths. That's why the American taxpayers have been overthrowing democratically elected leaders throughout the past several generations, right? Well, decades at least.
Yes.
The way the U.S. government has been acting, it is mob style. And it makes sense, too, because in the early 1900s, the mobs were doing justice, right? They were making a killing, especially in Prohibition and stuff. They had stuff figured out. It's the criminal mindset. And then you bring in the Illuminati, the Freemasons, these secret societies.
Yes, exactly. I was thinking of that earlier today. They get rewarded. The mobsters a lot of times end up in prison, but these other gangsters end up as presidents, and they end up as senators and CEOs of corporations, and they end up with hundreds of millions of dollars. Like the Clintons, they didn't have a pot to piss in when they went in the White House. Now what are they worth? $500 million or something? It's a huge amount of money. Like there's payoffs. It's a crooked system. And men of principle will not take these payoffs. We won't sell out like Judas for 30 pieces of silver or a new computer or whatever the case may be to be bought off with money.
Oh.
I won't be bought off that way. Zatoichi will, but I won't be.
Say what you will, brother.
Well, I know that I will not. My morals will not be bought. I'm confident of that.
Depends how much money you got.
I've been broke. I've never been rich. So that's an experience. I don't give a shit. I mean, I've dealt with poverty and I'm comfortable. I mean, life is a mind game. It's a mental strategy. And if you can truly, when you recognize you have what you need nothing. And we actually need very little. I don't consume as many calories as I used to. I don't sleep as much as I used to. I don't spend as much as I used to. I live very, very modestly, despite my life of luxury.
They were actually speaking about you doing the Landry was saying that you live on just nuts and berries, and he said twigs or something. He was saying that you eat very little, and then Flow State was saying, yeah, you went to a restaurant and I guess you had a coffee, and he had something to eat. Everybody's now saying that Jack Talcott doesn't even eat, that he just basically is like a breatharian. You live off the air and you don't need food. You've ascended basically to enlightenment, and you don't need food as fuel.
I've heard of the breatharians. I'm not sold on it, but I have envisioned, I mean, the power of mind, the mentalism that is available, and it would make sense in the evolution of an agency, right? And the evolution of a being like this. The continuing growth of us would be to achieve a level where we just simply are like nature. We receive our energy from the sunlight, from the frequencies of Mother Earth and the hydration of the water, right? We may achieve that. And then there may be a time where truly who we are is spirit beings. We could achieve such a level where we may not even need physical bodies to be. Maybe that's how we already are.
Yes, that's what I think. That ties in with my model. But when I'm looking at Zatoichi, I don't know if it's possible with this guy down in the right corner with his red room, a red rum. Murder backwards is red rum from that movie. But
I remember that.
The only reason it's red in here is because I'm a big fan of submarines and U-boats and
prostitution.
And prostitution. And
red light district. Yes, yes. He's the red light district.
I've been there.
Oh man, you were in the red light in Amsterdam?
Yeah.
No, I think you mean submarine.
What? No, I wasn't in submarines, but I did visit the red light district in Amsterdam.
Jack Talcott is the Forrest Gump. He's been everywhere. He's been to the red light district and tackled the Capitol building and interviewed with Don Lemon. I mean, it's an incredible story.
It really is. I have lived a crazy life. And I honestly feel like it's just getting started because I have totally devoted myself to love, to God. And once I've been practicing this, it really is. It's the only way we're supposed to be, the way Jesus showed and taught, with love. Love everyone. If you can love everyone, which you can, if you stop thinking of reasons not to love people, it's easy to love people. But that's really as simple as what Jesus was teaching. The key is...
I got one for you, Jack. Can you love Chuck?
I can.
I can't. Not yet. I'm trying to, but he bothers me.
Me too. Okay, so what I realized is it's my expectations of him.
Yeah,
right?
True.
And Chuck is Chuck. You gotta love the guy. He is who he is. He's a lovable guy. He really is. But with me, for whatever reason, he's not. I can still love him. That was something I meant to bring up to ancient graves or whatever. When we feel stuck, we have the mental capacity to intentionally imagine a different perspective, an outside perspective. And in that different perspective, we can see things differently. And so if I can see Chuck from the eyes of maybe Flow State, right? Imagine, he's very supportive. He's funny. He's on time, right? Then it's easier to love him.
He's just, for me, he's difficult to love because of his voice and attitude, and he behaves differently with Flow State than he does towards me and others. That's what I see. Where he's kind of, I wouldn't say a chameleon, but he's kind of an asshole to some people, and then he's kind of cooler with others. But I don't know. Maybe one day I'll be able to get to that level of just accepting Chuck as Chuck. I hope so. I've tried with Margot. I honestly have an issue with her as well, but I'm trying to learn. I'm trying not to be as harsh with these people.
Good for you, Stephen. Margot was a wonderful teacher for me as well. Took me a long time to find love for that lady. but I can, especially when she's not near me. It's easy to love her then.
Yes, yes.
Wow.
Um, well, and actually, this is kind of where I'm at. I love everyone until I have to deal with their bullshit. You know, if people are around and they don't bring me their bullshit, then I don't have any problems with them. But
Yeah.
people
I
don't.
love Trexty too. I think she has an issue with me, but I really don't mind her. Um, or the ones in the chat. Noah, I think, believes that I have an issue with him. I mean, I do kind of have a big fan club on YouTube. There might be a few thousand people that hate me on here. I don't know. I don't know how many it is at this point, but it's a growing fan club, and I'm trying to turn it around. It's like trying to turn around a cruise ship or the Titanic. It's a slow process. It's not just one big turn. It's like we got to turn this around, and it takes a crew, and it takes help, and it's a big thing.
Hey, Stephen, it does. And you know what? You're right. You do have quite the reputation. And I believe you are changing. I believe you are intentional. You'd like to change the reputation or what folks are saying. Because it does. It gets old, man, having all these people just constantly going at you. I have some ideas. I may try and share. Well, this helps, I think. Having the opportunity to show yourself different. That's what some people need. They just need a chance, right?
Yes, just like the song. All we are saying is give peace a chance. So if we give
Absolutely.
peace a chance individual level, maybe we can do with society, with countries, with the world. We got to start, this way and get the ball rolling.
We got to start where we are. And to do that, we've got to be willing to accept where we are. And ancient wave graves or whatever was talking about that earlier. Sometimes it's tough to accept where you are. Where you are may not be that comfortable. But what I've been practicing in my mind is the reminder of what's real. Ask yourself, what is real? Everything is temporary. What is real now will be unimportant in a couple hours, maybe a day, right? Things change, and we get so used to the routines, to the natural order, right? The days and the months and the years, and the seasons, it's all consistent. So we fall asleep and we get so comfortable in what's familiar. But that ain't how nature's created, man. It started off with a bang, and I think it's going to keep going.
Well, none of us were here 100 years ago, and we won't be here 100 years from now.
Possibly, there's the possibility we become this generation that lives a lot longer.
Yeah.
I wouldn't
Extended life.
I wouldn't even want it.
Elon Musk and others are working on that. The life extension. So you wouldn't want it, Satoichi? I just want to say, I want to throw out an olive branch. I know you took the 30 pieces of silver to get the new computer to sell me up, but I am sorry for calling you the N-word. I won't say the word. I'll just call it the N-word on here. I do apologize for calling you the N-word.
And I'm sorry that I took the money and banned you, but it was a matter of worldliness.
Worldly greed. You wanted that computer and you thought that, but as somebody said, you could have made so much more money if you wouldn't have taken that to ban me for a year. You could have banned me every month on your channel and made money, because there's always people willing to pay to ban me. I'm aware of this.
Well, I settled on a flat rate, so
it was a poor business decision. You could have made $500 a month off me. I'm that hated out here in these streets
possible.
easily.
It is possible, but you know what, Satoichi? You might consider that. I get what you're saying. You made a deal, you made a commitment, but that might be a lesson for you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, think about the possibilities.
Right.
And someone like Steven is well hated. If you guys can find a way, there's money to be made.
Well,
You
I
could own your
How
own
much
house by
money would
now,
it cost to
Satoichi, if
make
you would have played your
Steven
card
do
right.
own my own house. I have to drop down though, guys, because I have to go tend my cockroach farm.
All right.
Going to Silver's channel? Is that what you're saying?
No. All right, have a good one, guys.
I was kicked out off there today as well. See you later, Zatoichi.
There we go.
How much money
Fascinating.
would it cost to make Steven likable? That's the question.
I'm very likable to some. Some absolutely love me and adore me. You know, I think it's an energy. I think maybe it's a frequency. And I think maybe our spirits have a spiritual signature frequency. And some people it resonates just like a tuning fork. And other people, it's like a magnet that repels. It's like they can't stand me right off the bat. That's a theory, working theory that I have.
There's energetic qualities to us all, and that is undeniable. And the universe is energy. I heard this definition recently. Energy is information. I came to that conclusion on my own a while ago too, but it makes sense. In the patterns of energy, we can identify the patterns, therefore the boundaries, the frequency, we can find information. And information, truthful information, that's what empowers us. It brings me every time it comes back to God is the truth. Truth is my God. That's where I started at. I didn't have faith in a higher power, but I knew that truth was the only thing that mattered to me.
All of that information and truth and energies flowing through us every day. Like we're swimming in it, like we're swimming in consciousness. I used to think that Denizen loved me, actually. I don't think he hates me. We got along. I think we get along fairly well.
Denizen does well. He disengages and engages at his choice. I've admired Denizen, and I don't think there is hate. I've heard him say before, right?
I think he makes a hell of a good Jewish deli sandwich with the kosher pickles, and that's the way I picture him. He just seems like he's part of a Jewish deli sandwich family. But that's an old running joke we have going way back. For some reason, his voice just made me think of pastrami sandwiches.
Hey, I want to do service and jump through these slides real quick. Okay, since I got them, let's bump through these because in line with the purpose, the topic, disclosure, confession, and admission. It really is regarding the power of truth. You know, when we confess, we free ourselves of the secrets of what's hidden. Sharing what's hidden brings light into the darkness. You know, others are kept from the knowledge until we're willing to share what we know. And the same applies for others with us. Honesty breaks the cycle of secrecy. If you've got a relationship where you're walking around on eggshells, worried of people exploding, it's time to have an honest conversation. We rebuild our trust with ourselves and each other through honest communication. It really is the power that heals. Confession is acknowledging the truth openly. It releases that burden of guilt. It allows us to receive forgiveness, to receive acceptance. We are the receivers of life. That's what we're generated to be, the receivers of life and the light of wisdom, consciousness. But it's not just ours, it's ours to share, or it's ours to keep, I guess. But truly, admission is courage. You show your bravery when you're honest, when you admit your mistakes. Stephen has been a wonderful example of that recently. And I've seen some doubt in the chat, and people are entitled to their doubts, but I encourage everyone, give people a chance. Allow people to change, allow people to be different, because someone who is willing to, especially publicly, at least even say the words, owning up, saying, yeah, I'm accountable for what I said. Admitting it means owning it. And our courage, that courage that you take by speaking up, that courage replaces denial, it replaces fear, and we take back control of our own lives. That's the key to self-mastery, controlling your life. So living without fear thrives in silence and secrecy, man. Fear is the result of an absence of knowing. When you know, you don't fear. When you know the answer, you don't fear, at least. So fear thrives in silence and secrecy. Freedom, that thrives where people are truthful, where they're honest, forthright. Disclosure, confession, admission, they are the keys to living fearlessly. The truth may sting, but only the truth can set us free. And live without fear, because truly, nothing hidden controls you. But it does, doesn't it? Because the truth is a mystery that's only within the mind and the eyes of the beholder. Life is a mystery, guys. Sorry, thank you. Any thoughts or ideas?
Life is a mystery. In the first slide, I think it said about disclosure. Do you think they will disclose the secrets that the government has about aliens and life and all these sorts of things in our lifetime? This will be disclosed publicly.
That's part of my purpose. I've never met or spoken with Stephen Greer and the Disclosure Project, but I want to support what he's doing as well, because his work was partly what inspired me with the idea. It's time to end the government secrecy, man.
I wonder about these deep underground military bases, the DUMBs, they call them, that they've been digging for generations now, decades. And there's talk that there's whole cities, and if they were above ground, they'd be skyscrapers, like many levels, and just huge infrastructure. That these black projects, they've siphoned money from us, forced taxation, stolen from us essentially, to build underground these things. And there might be alien races hidden, like there's, who knows what they have, but they've kept it from us, and it's really theft. At the bottom of things, that it's corruption, because they've siphoned money through black projects for this. This goes back to even before JFK and President JFK. And so this has been going on for so long. I hope that this is all disclosed and people become aware of what they've actually done to us. Whether you're poor or middle class, they've stolen from us. So I support what Jack is saying with ending these secrets.
Thank you.
It's very important.
It is. And Britt, everyone's got opinions about everyone, right?
Especially
I really don't.
Brit.
Yeah, especially Britt. Whether or not it could be true, I doubt it. I don't see him, being a gatekeeper intentionally. I don't see him as controlled opposition, but I have met a lot of people in the truth community, in various organizations, and hell, even churches. People lack the faith to believe that we can do something. And
these people in the chat, they're just downers, though. They're calling everybody a shill and a gatekeeper. That's kind of the YouTube thing. Like, anybody that's doing anything out there, they get labeled as a gatekeeper or a shill. And I think they might even be calling Stephen Greer that, because his name is Stephen, and they're thinking, oh, well, we'll get back at King Stephen as well. I don't know. Who knows? But yeah.
That's true. This life is regarding the disclosure, though, there is so much evidence. We have to accept the facts. There's trillions of dollars that are unaccounted for. That's what Stephen was talking about. There's all these finances that the taxpayers are burdened with. trillions of dollars have disappeared. There's been audits on the Pentagon spending. There's been audits on all sorts of things. Let's not forget the day before 9/11, what was it? Rumsfeld announcing $3 trillion was unaccounted
Yes,
for, right?
I remember that. Right the day before, and then that happened. We'll call it happened. But I mean, that's incredible amount of money. Like that would build a damn city. And how does that go missing? And people
Right.
forget about it, and they're like, "Wow, like that's a huge amount of money." So where did it go?
I've heard estimates that we could be well over a missing $23 trillion. I mean, the numbers are just so absurd. A billion with a B is an absurd number. Our minds have trouble even imagining the scale of that number, let alone trillions of dollars.
No one should be going hungry in this whole
No,
world with
no.
trillions of dollars missing. This is just this is proof of what Jack is saying. When you
Thank
think
you.
about the missing trillions and then what Jack speaks about this world, it adds up.
It does. The well, and then you take the fact that what our government has done is they've outsourced what is illegal, right? What the government is restrained from doing, they've created these contracts and enlisted corporate leaders into doing the bidding, right? Creating lies in the media, getting false stories created. Why? So that nations are overturned, politics are won. We are being so manipulated by by no one. God is revealing our future. God is doing it all. We are so blessed to be alive today, to be where we are and who we are. We really are. And I hope others can feel the blessings. I mean, it really is. It's a mental game. But if you can bring yourself into this state of being whole and complete and needing nothing, because you know in your heart, I have everything I need to get me through today, to get me through right now. I've got everything I need. So if I have to worry about something, I'll worry about it another day. That's how I've been learning how to live without fear, to be honest. And have a clear conscience at night is to be truthful, align myself with the truth, and choose love every time. Feels good.
Yes. Choosing love feels so much better. Laughter as well. Feels good to laugh. Feels good to love. It feels good to laugh. It doesn't feel good to hate and hold grudges. It just actually just drains you and gets
It
gets
does.
miserable. So it feels so much better to laugh and love, live, love, laugh. So
It's
much
true.
better.
It's true. It's cheesy and has been friggin' just marketed, but it is so true. If we're going to live, think about it. You want to laugh, you want to love. Everyone does. We all want to live, laugh, and love. I had a tough time doing that, especially when I was alone. But I've been alone for a long time and I laugh constantly. Oh, fuck. I am a funny fucker. I'm constantly making me laugh.
That's a clip right there. I'm a funny fucker. I like that. I like the sound of that. That was good. Do you feel a lot better being where you're at right now? The air there and just the feeling of it. Do you think maybe that's even helpful as well? Like maybe the energy of Rose's house and that city.
I do. Yeah. It's a lot of things, but yes, it's all of those things. I really do feel blessed. My life has taken some crazy turns, and this life I'm living, it has been a crazy adventure. But if I'm right, there's so many signs that tell me I'm right. It is time for wars to end. There's people who may not believe that we can. There's people who may not even want to try, but it's worthy of doing. We can do it. We can achieve a world that is not run by bankers and corporate states. We can create a world that is heavenly. God's given us everything we need. All of the answers and all of the solutions for the world problems, they are here, available. I'm not saying I have every one. I'm saying that those answers are available for the world now through people I've learned from. We've just got to find the willingness to create this reality into something better. And I think that's what God is doing, because that's the natural order of the perfection of nature. Everything started perfect in the beginning, and then it gets greater. And eventually it'll eventually reach the pinnacle, right? Absolute perfection. Well, absolute perfection means there's no more growth, no more change, no more anything. We got a long ways to go.
Praise God. But the intention to change things is part of how I think this reality works.
Yeah.
Through our intention and sincerity. And if we want to end wars and end all secrets, and it begins that way with the intention.
I appreciate it. Hey, I'm feeling like it is time to start wrapping up. We're almost at that 2-hour magical mark for me too. Any final thoughts?
Well, I just want to say thanks for having me on, Jack. You seem a lot happier and more content where you are. I don't know if it's the influence of the city there, Rose's house, but you really do. You seem so much happier today and yesterday and just recently. I've noticed the energy and change, and you're bringing a lot of good energy, good vibes, and it's awesome to see. It really is good to see you happy, smiling, laughing, and nobody coming on and ruining the show. It's been great to see this just be this way. Like it's really good. So anyway, thanks for having me on, and God bless you. Bless everyone here, and take care. I'll see you again soon.
Much love. Thank you, Stephen. I appreciate what you brought, and sincerely, part of the credit goes to you as well. I mean, I realize the burden is on me of how I act, but I do tend to react differently depending on how I'm treated. So you've really shown. Thank you. I appreciate what you brought. And Denizen, you as well. I you didn't jump in a lot, but I do appreciate you being here. What are your thoughts, my friend?
Actually, I've been thinking ever since Steven described the underground caves of like a movie where Jesus comes back, but the DOD figures out how to trap him, and like, you know how Superman kryptonite stops his powers? They have some way that they can contain Jesus and stop him from using Jesus powers, and he's been trying to save us the whole time, but the Pentagon won't let him.
That sounds like a movie script, but that's not the interpretation of Jesus that I know, or God. God's plans, man. God's plans are for perfection and glory to be known. I know that. I'm going to start wrapping up. Denizen, thank you. I appreciate you joining sincerely. To all who tuned in, all who joined, whether in the live or the later, or you catch the restream, whatever, do the subscribe to Jack Talcott. Let's help this grow. I do have faith. I got so much faith in love. I've got so much faith in answers, and I truly believe it will be easy to change this world. All we got to do is have faith. We got to have faith in ourselves, faith in God, faith in greater, right? And if you can rest in the perfection of the day, because time moves perfectly. You are a part of this time, are you not? Are you not this time of today? That's all you are. You were the past. You're not the future. You are this moment here. So if you rest in the moment of now, because it's always now, then you enter into the eternal life where you're not as much controlled by a schedule. You're not as much controlled by memories and imagination. where you're actually in control of you, present and free and filled with possibilities, because that's really what all of us are. We're just unrealized potential. That's what love brings. Brothers and sisters, thank you again. Till next time, choose love, peace for everyone, and live without fear. God bless us all. Peace.